Alright, so this is the 12mm tongue and groove that's going up in the roof, and I think I need a 4.7 meter length. I finally made some space in the bus so I can work, and now I'm just going to measure the total length from the lip of the moulding, and then it's going to come all the way down back to here and finish right up in this back corner here. Right, let's get some lengths cut. Because I'm not an octopus, I've made up these little props and covered them with some sponge or gloves, bit of a mixture, so I can squeeze them in and put some pressure on these lengths as I screw them up. I've got this all propped up. Just going to take some measurements across to the other side of the finish to make sure it's even. It's critical that you get this first one straight. I'm going to put a couple of holding screws. I'm just going to start with 4 or so screws just to hold this thing in place, and then I'll build off that, and once everything's where I want it to be, then I'll go through and ping all the screws in to finish it off. But I don't want to do that just yet in case I have to pull some down. You never know. Just taking the precautions. So I'm going to get some screws ready and start screwing this bad boy in. Apologies for not getting the part where I'm putting it up and chucking up the props, but it's just too hard to do all that at once. But got it propped up now, just away from, just out from the tongue, so I'm not putting pressure on that as I prop it up. And once I've got it up, I'm going to slide it in, and hopefully I can pop it in on the whole length. Let's give it a crack. Don't have a rubber mallet, so I'm just going to tape a rag to the end of this hammer. I hope that works. Should do. I'm just going to go along and tap it in, and then I'm going to go quickly chuck some screws in it. That is perfect. Well, that's the method anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and get the rest of these boards up, and then I'm going to go get some plywood to do the sides. I might be able to finish the whole roof today, hopefully. The other thing, don't forget to run your wires first. So I've run all my wires prior, all the way down to where it needs to be, and some sleeving. Same for the lighting / ventilation fan in the shower, which will be about there. So I'll just put it in the center of that panel. I'll be able to find it when I go for it. And same over here, run the wires from that one down and round. Don't forget to run your wires. This is the only part on the bus that I'm going to have the wires behind the cladding. Everywhere else I'm going to have the wires in cabling covers externally, so I can make modifications and repairs if needed. For this stuff, I'm just not going to, and hope for the best. But what you can do is, because you've got these cabling covers, if you need to replace any wire, you cut it here and tape some new wire to it, and then you pull it out here, and it will drag the new wire through the cabling cover, so you don't need to remove all your cladding. So I've still got a method for servicing if needed, but I really wanted to hide it behind all this tongue and groove because I wanted that nice long length finish to give some real long parallel lines in the bus to make it give that appearance of being a bit bigger. Anyway, enough of a yarn. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these panels up. So because it matches up perfectly here, I don't have to cut out any shapes, so I can just run short pieces here So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll have 2 short pieces, and I might have to cut out some on the next one, but for now I'm just going to go ahead and use the offcuts to go in here like so, and build on from there. Alright, so I've got those 2 in above my head. Now I need to go ahead and put the next 2 in here. It'd be tempting to go and lay another board butting up to that, but then you're not going to be able to get the other boards in the middle once you've got this outside board in. So it's tempting to try and make progress when you can, but you just got to take it slow and build out. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these 2 short ones at 940, I think they were 960, to go in there, and then the lengths left from that will go in the middle. So I've got 4 more to cut, and then I can start on the next full length and finish off the roof of the bus. Next is the trickier part. It's not super tricky, it's pretty simple. Essentially what I've got to do is measure out how much I need to trim off, and then cut it out with a jigsaw, and then test fit it. Don't have to get super precise with your cuts around here, because the flashing of their Skylight is pretty forgiving. So I'm just going to follow the contour they've already started with, and get that in, screw the next board on, and then the rest of them are just straight boards. So the way I'm doing this is measuring distance from here to the end of this board and tracing that onto there, and then the distance from the same end to this end of the gap here, and tracing that on, and then giving myself a 35mm depth cut out onto here. So I've got first measurement, second measurement, I've double checked that, which is 290, which is the same as the gap up there, 290, and then I'm going to go out 35mm on my sliding square, run that across between the 2 measurements. Before I start cutting out what I've marked, I'm going to go ahead and drill the corners. That'll give a nice rounded edge and prevent some splitting in the future. So I'm just going to go in and drill the corners like so. Battery died. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for the second Skylight, cut out the hole for that, and I'll place this board up and see how it looks. So it's just propped up, it's not pushed in yet. I'm just going to couple of screws on this side, and then I'll work my way along, pushing it in, and then I'll check the distances remaining to see if I need to splay any boards out to get that nice even finish. Alright, that's good. I've got 290 all along, so it's like 1.5 boards. I'm going to have to rip 1 board down. Unfortunately. No, is it? 2.5 boards. 2.5 boards, sorry. So I'm going to get 2 more boards up, and then I'll check the gap for the next one, and I'll have to rip 1 in half.
That's good.
Alright, there we go. Managed to get it all up. Got a bit rushed towards the end because it started to rain, so I wanted to get these cut in. So we've done the full interior middle of the roof. Got to go ahead and put in the plugs for the skylights and wire those up to the wires that I've run previously. But yeah, that's it. We had a 42mm slither on this side. You can just see it in here. And it was exactly 42, which means I had them perfectly straight the whole way, which is awesome. And I was a bit scared that I was going to have sort of like a tapered slither, but I managed to get it 42 the whole way, so stoked. The saggy insulation on the back has come up real tight, so I'm happy with that as well. So yeah, that's it. We've got our full roof up. Pretty happy with how it's turned out so far. These have all just got one screw in on each, so I've got a Mozzies. Got another pack of screws, and I'm just going to go around, whiz around and finish screwing this off. Alright, so we finished yesterday putting in the bendy ply up behind the cabinets. I didn't video that because I was just rushed and wanted to get it done, and it was quite fiddly. But essentially all I did was cut strips 340mm and push them in. I screwed these bottom plates on first, this bullnose dressing. I took the structural ribs down for the overhead cabinets and I put the ply behind that, and I just pushed it into place and it sort of pressure fitted. And then I went through and screwed up into the ribs, which I marked here where they were. So then I could draw a line and get some even screws into the structural ribs that I put up. It's given us a nice bend behind all the overhead cabinets, and it's a nice lightweight bendy ply. So where I can, I'm trying to save weight because you don't want to end up with a big heavy bus more than you have to. And timber is heavy, especially when you start getting up there. So I finished that yesterday and then screwed the structural stuff back up. So it's given it a nice finish on both sides. So that's looking towards the back. This is going to be a tricky bit. I haven't quite got here yet, but essentially what I had to do was cut a bit of an angle here and tried to finish this as far back as I could. And what I'm going to do is put another plywood plate on the back and screw it into the sides here and hide all the end cuts, and then cap it off with some dressing. I am going to lose a bit of space there, but it's just such a hard place to work with. It sort of curves in every direction, so it's going to end up being an angle out from the finish here down to here, because that's the angle of the roof, and I just got to do what I got to do. A lot of people don't. I've seen a lot of people doing this and they don't do anything at the back and they just have bare steel. But then you're going to get condensation issues and stuff like that. So I wanted to do it properly. I didn't want to take any shortcuts, as you've seen with the rest of the work. And that's going to be a big overhead cabinet, probably open cabinet there. A nice big one that comes out above the bed. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at so far. It's looking quite nice. We've got our air conditioning ducts in, and we've pretty much finished the roof. We just need to start on the cabinets on each side. It's going to be enclosed cabinets on this side, and you can have shower and fridge, so you're not going to have cabinets above that. And all this side is going to be open cabinets. And in this corner here, we'll probably finish the last cabinet about there and have like an angled shelf in here going back to this, so you're not blocking the air conditioning vents, and you can probably just put a little plant or something in there. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at now. That's where we're at for this one, guys. I'll probably finish this video here. I'll finish the back and do the overhead cabinets in another video. Still waiting on a few things, but that's probably enough for this video anyway. So thanks for watching. If you liked it, don't forget to hit the like button. Got any questions, leave a comment below. And if you're interested, hit that subscribe button and I'll keep you updated with progress so you can follow with what's going on. As I might have already said in this video earlier, one of the next jobs is cutting some holes and fitting the gas hot water heater. So we'll need a gas fitter to run the plumbing and sign off on that. So if any of you guys watching, if you know anyone or you are yourself a gas fitter that can do motorhomes, please get at me. I'd rather use you guys as opposed to anyone else out there. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.